When you look at the crowds today, you have maybe 5,000–6,000 people here. On the streets yesterday, 1 million people, 1 million Iranians in the street for the Ayatollah Khomeini. Does that not give you concern? Does that not make you afraid?
Because they are afraid, yeah, that's right. And most of the people don't say anything because they are afraid. And they are in silence, you know, they don't say anything.
Is this the silent majority of Iran out here now?
Yes, that's right.
Do you want the Shah to return?
Yes, Shah, return to the country.
What about you, Shah? Why do you want the Shah? Why does she want the Shah?
ما شاه میخوایم ما بیچاره این
شادی کشتنش حلاله کجای قرآن گفته
47 years we've been bleeding in the dark, under the shadow of the Islamic regime, with a stone-cold heart. They silenced our voices, they turned off our light. 58 days without internet, but we still fought the night. Our children took the streets, they raised their empty hands, and the world looked away. Do you understand? Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? days, that's all it took. Mothers and fathers and sons, did you even look? We stand with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, our hope and voice. Millions behind him marching, he is our only choice. He only fights for freedom, democracy and human rights. But you mock him in your chambers while he fights for our lives, to pull us out of this darkness, this century-long night, while you sign deals with our killers and call it diplomatic right. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? They hang 60-40 souls one by one, hanged within 4 months by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? What happened to you, Europe? What made you so cold? What turned your heart to stone while our story went untold? Is oil worth more than blood? Is silence worth the shame? Because while you negotiate with murderers, we are dying, calling your name. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? We are still here, we are still strong. Do you know Europe? How much longer? How much longer? How long? Do you know Europe?
To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه روبروم یه واژه یه هدف به نام انتقامه پشت سرم دعای مادر و تو دستم تفنگ بابامه رو زبونم اسم شاه بگین این عشق بی انتهاست هر جا اسم ایران اومد اونجا صدای بچه رضاست فردا می نویسن تو کتاب قصه دیمار بگو با تیر جنگی کشتن بچه‌های بیگناه رو بگو از بخت مادرها شیر زنا و دخترامون بگو تنها شهید شدیم تا تنها نمونه شامون وقتی واسه غمنی گرچه قصه آمون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غمنی گرچه قصه آمون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غمنی گرچه قصه آمون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه
سلام من به تو یار قدیمی منم همون هوادار قدیم
سید سلام چطوری مرد کلی کتلت شدین دایی بدون مدرک سلام بسیجی قهرمان رفتی پیش توسی با پنیر و یه نون سنگک سلام به محفل قرآنیتون سلام به مدیرای بحرانیتون سلام به حاجی اکبر و طوله هاش و خارج و رفقای ارگانیتون سلام به دزدای پول ملت که تش میفتین توی تور ملت سلام به همه شما کرکسایی که دارین نونتون رو میزنین تو خون ملت که تش زیر دست و پاک و تک بخورین حالا هی به یه بادکنک بدوین سلام آخر تو زندان باشه وقتی قرار به این آب خنک بخورین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا اینو بگذاریم به خاک میرسیم تجزیه طلبی که به خاک بیرسیم ایران مردمش وطن پرستن از کرد تا بلوچ بری به فاک میرسی توف به هر کی مرسی است توف به هر کی در پی تجزیه است توف به لوی و همونی که شیفته ی گل ملیگرا تو وطن خدا نفسی هست سر کردستان همه برپا شدن بلوچستان فدای مهسا شدن شم واحد که شیر و خورشید ما بقی جعلیا تنها شدن شادی باشه واسه همه در میهن کور بشه چه شهرچی اهریمن رخه رو بگی تا اون 6 کلاس سواد و خبرگان و مجد سری ترجیحن شبهای عروس و دامادی باشه برن سلامتی نوش کنن و آبادی باشه مقصد کجاست میدون شهیاده به سمت اتوبان آزادی باشه سلام به نسل ندید پدیدا نبودیم ندیدیم قدیمتی ما شاه بود تو شادی کل میزدین حالا شاه بر میگرده پیک میزنین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا
فاهنگ به این خوشگلی بانو آیده بود اسم این عشقاین رو توش بیاریم ولی خب لازم بود دیگه فکر کنم بانو آیده
Let's go. میخوام بگم از دلم، از عشق به این میهنم، به امید روز شکست دشمن شاه برمیگرده به وطن. برگشتن پهلوی وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو همشهری شاه رضا پهلوی. نظام رسیده پرتگاه، بلند بگو جاوید شاه. برگشت شاه به میهن، دوای درد وطن. این آخرین نبرده، پهلوی برمیگرده. داره میاد پهلوی، زجه بزن سید علی. راه نجات وطن، پهلوی هموطن. ایران میشه گلستان، شاه که بیاد به ایران. ایران که شاه نداره، حساب کتاب نداره. آخون باید گم بشه، توپ تانک فشفشه. گم شو بیرون اجنبی، داره میاد پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن ها. ما شاه میخوایم نه ملا، بذار بشنوه دنیا. ایرانی داد بزن، شاه تو فریاد بزن. برگشتن پهلوی وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو هموطن. شاه رضا پهلوی، فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه.
Look at us here today. We see so many flags representing so many nations. We know we are not alone, and we thank you for being with us. For all people around the world who stand today in unity with the Iranian people, this is not just because it's good for us, and you do it out of compassion and care for our rights to liberty and justice and equality and human rights. But understand that it is in your best interest too, to have, unlike this regime that has been propagating terror and radicalism, we the people of Iran are peacemakers and not warmongers. We like to be friends, especially with the free world. We'd like to be able to have the best neighborly relationship with the people of our area and the region, with the Arab countries, with Israel, and all our other neighbors. We are fighting for justice, we're fighting for human rights, we are fighting for liberty, we're fighting to put an end to all sorts of discrimination. Because as an Iranian, I stand here to tell you that I've dedicated 47 years of my life because I think that my country deserves far better than what we have right now. To now understand that their best remedy is to support the people of Iran, because ultimately a free Iran will be your best partner, not just to bring stability and peace, but it will be in your best economic interest and opportunities. Together we can prosper again, and the world will be so different once the Iranian people are free. I am here to guarantee a transition to secular democratic future. I am committed to be that leader of transition for you, so we can one day have the final opportunity to decide the fate of our country through a democratic, transparent process, through the ballot box and free elections. And let's make sure that this time, especially the free nations of this world and their governments, stand on the right side of history.
Well, Durud Patriots, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to day 185 of Iran Revolution Live. And all I can say is Goldie is always right. Because when I give a geopolitical analysis, I might be early, but I'm rarely wrong. Because there's a lot of patterns out there. You know, different things that I can spot and different things that I can see well before it happens. And what's happening right now with the Islamic regime, the infighting amongst the Islamic regime, but also the boom booms that have started. And last night, they were even more intense. Now, while we're waiting for our special guest to join us, because I do have a very special guest who is joining us today, and I'm very, very excited to have him here. But let me get to some of the latest breaking news. Because I literally can't keep up. I actually can't keep up with everything that's going on. But I'm actually going to start with, wow, okay. Durud Patipto. Can you hear me, Patipto? Your mic's not working.
No.
Oh, I think I might be hearing you now.
Yeah,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
yes.
Oh, there we go. Durud Patipto.
Good.
How
I
are
appreciate
you?
Doing just fine. I've joined you tonight because I have a quick note to share with you, if you're okay. And I'm going to leave soon as last night. But I'm trying my best to stay all the time I have with you. As always, it's my honor to be with you.
You know, Patipto, you're always welcome to join us. Actually, I have a special guest who's joining me today as well in a few moments. So you're more than welcome to stick around and join the conversation, because I'm sure that he would also appreciate very much hearing from you. But before we go to your message, His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi put out a video statement a couple of hours ago. Is your message related to that, or should we listen to you first and then go to His Royal Highness's message? How would you like to do this? Up to you.
Of course, we have to listen Princess of Pahlavi message first, but
All right.
it's completely aligns with what I wanted to say with you. So first team, afterwards, I'm here to talk.
Perfect. Okay. Sorry, let me add you to the stage. All right. So let's get into it then. Okay, wow. You know, actually, so before we begin, guys, our special guest, just remember, Patipto is our, honorary co-host. So Patipto is always special. But I think we're just waiting for our special guest to get connected. Let's give him a moment, because I see him behind the scenes. So he's gonna have to connect his so you have to give permission to your web browser to connect to your webcam and microphone. All right. Okay, so while we're waiting for him to get connected there, let's listen to His Royal Highness's. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm so excited. Guys. JASSEM,
I'm so
hello.
sorry. It was a technical error. I was trying to set up everything, Thank you so much for having me, JJ. Gigi.
Oh my, Gigi, I know in Arabic it's JJ. So ahlan wa sahlan. So everyone,
Hi.
this is my good friend Jassem. Jassem is originally from Kuwait. Now, Jassem, I will let you share your story in a little bit. Now, for everyone who is tuning in, let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from, because Jassem, we have a lot of non-Middle Eastern viewers, especially especially a lot of Americans, right? And so they're probably looking at you right now, and they probably have a lot of questions about the I don't even know what it's called. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the traditional dress.
Yes.
Fatra, Agal, and Dasha.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you're wearing this traditional cultural dress, which, by the way, guys, it has absolutely nothing to do with religion. It's a cultural thing. But Justin will definitely get into that a little bit later when we have some questions from him. And Justin, we actually also have so Petito is joining us for a little bit. Petito is actually an Iranian freedom fighter from occupied Iran. That's why he doesn't use his real name or his image, and he actually uses Starlink to connect. So he's joining us for a little bit because we actually just got a new message from His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi. So maybe we can all watch that together, because I would be very interested to get your thoughts and comments as well as like a Middle Eastern Arab person who's not a Durka. So long story short, we have a code word for like the jihadis. We call them Durkas, whether they're like the terrorists from like Iran or from the various Middle Eastern countries, or even like the British Durkas. You've seen like those weird ginger people who've converted to Islam. So Durka is the ideology, not like a religion or an ethnicity or nationality. Yeah. But okay, so let's go to His Royal Highness's message, and then we'll share our thoughts. And then I want to do a deep dive with you, Justin, as well. Thank you so much for being here. So let me just add you to the stage. All right. Okay, so let's listen to the message from His Royal Highness.
همیهنان عزیز، جمهوری اسلامی می‌کوشد صدای واقعی مردم ایران را در میان هیاهوی مراسم حکومتی برای یک جنایتکار بالفطره و یکی از منفورترین حاکمان تاریخ ایران پنهان کند. رژیمی فرسوده، پوسیده و رو به زوال با نمایش‌های ساختگی، تبلیغات دروغین و هزینه‌های هنگفتی که از جیب مردم ایران غارت می‌شود، تلاش دارد تصویری جعلی از مشروعیت برای خود بسازد. اما حقیقت ایران جای دیگری ایستاده است. در کنار نام و یاد فرزندان دلاوری که
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm playing the wrong one. I'm so sorry. This isn't the new one. I apologize. I got really excited. This is the new one. This is the new one from 2 hours ago. My apologies. Let's start from the beginning.
6 months ago tonight, Tehran went dark. All of Iran went dark. And into that darkness, millions of Iranians walked out of their homes anyway. January 8th and 9th were not just 2 nights of protest. They were the night Iran's silence broke. Millions came into the streets, into the squares, onto their rooftops. But the regime answered them with bullets. Tens of thousands of my compatriots were killed in those 48 hours. Tens of thousands more have been arrested, tortured, and sentenced to die since. They came out determined and brave. I think of them every day. On those 2 nights, I lost countrymen I will never get to meet. I do not hear a statistic when I hear the number 40,000. I see a son who did not come home to his mother, a daughter who will not sit at her family's table again. I think of each of them the way I would think of my own child my own brother, my own sister. I carry the weight of every one of those names. But the families of the fallen I meet with, week after week, hearten our nation's will to carry on. Their children did not die in vain. They died for freedom, and they died with pride. History will remember what these men and women did. I will make sure of it. Like the resistance who stood against tyranny in occupied Europe, and like the revolutionaries who fought for liberty in America. But theirs was a particular bravery. They had no army, no air cover, nothing but the belief in what they stood for. They stood anyway. A united nation choosing to face the guns together rather than to live one more day in fear. The men and women of the 8th and 9th of January will be remembered in Iran's history as the greatest generation that preferred to die free and standing than to live coward on their knees. To the international community, I ask this: do not let a negotiating table in Geneva or Islamabad erase what happened in the streets of Tehran, Mashhad, and Kermanshah. They died for freedom. And when they are free, the Strait of Hormuz will open, the nuclear threat will end, and we will have true peace. I have told my compatriots, what you did on January 8th and 9th cannot be undone. Together, we will reclaim our country's rightful place in the world, our national dignity, and honor the lives of our heroes. Now is the time to reassess, regroup, and rededicate ourselves to victory. We honor the fallen by finishing what they started. A free Iran is no longer a matter of hope, it is a matter of fact. And know that my brave compatriots are not just fighting for their own liberation, but for the peace and stability of the world.
Wow. Javid Shah. Javid Shah. What an incredibly powerful, powerful message. Fatibto, let's go to you first. You are in occupied Iran, and I know that you joined because you wanted to share a message. Please go ahead, Fatibto.
First of all, before I continue, I want to send all of my regards and thanks to JASSEM, who have met him right here in person. I've already followed him and always wanted to thank him because of his efforts and his activity. That means a lot to us Iranians inside Iran. Having
And
someone
he's a big supporter of His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi, and he has been working hard to promote and educate the Arab world about Reza Pahlavi as well. So thank you so much, Jassem.
of course. And after that, with all of my regards, actually, I just wanted to mention that you don't know what a relief it is that it's not the first time. It's repeats so many times from the early days of the revolution that anything comes to mind to our minds, and any struggle or anything we feel it's like to tell the world about that telepathically comes out of His Royal Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi. I don't know, it's a miracle or it's a telepathic connection. What is happening for more than anything, and always it's a relief for us to hear him that saying exact words that us Iranians inside occupied Iran wanted the world to hear. Actually, my quick note aligns with his sentences too well. So here it is. Today marks exactly 60 days since the massacre ordered by Ali Khamenei, the man who once ordered hundreds of thousands of bullets to be fired at innocent, unarmed people, just to stay in power for a few more days. He is now being buried. History will remember him not as a strong leader, but as a symbol of ego and brutality. His funeral processions across Iran showed everyone how weak the regime has become and how strong and numerous we are. Today, right here in front of all of you, I wanted to make two promises. First, we will bring back to Iran with full honor and respect the Crown Prince and Her Imperial Majesty Queen Farah Pahlavi, the rightful successor of the Pahlavi family, along with the entire royal family. Second, whatever I am here or not, this recording will remain in history. The day we bring back the pure body of our king, Mohammad Reza Shah, to Iran, you will see with your own eyes the real number of Iranians who love their country. That day will be the true referendum. And to all our non-Iranian friends around the world who have stood with us throughout this movement, I ask you from the bottom of my heart, please continue supporting us by standing with your own leaders, Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Trump, and their teams. Do not let our common enemies create division between us. Stay united. We are fighting the same enemy. پاینده ایران جاوید شاه.
Javid Shah. Thank you so much, Petito. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing that. And Petito, this is your home, so whenever you show up, I'm always so happy to see you. And you're always in my thoughts and prayers, you and everyone else inside occupied Iran. So please be safe. And everything you said, absolutely right. I agree 100% with everything that you're saying. And Petito, please feel free to stick around and be with us for as long as you can. Of course, if you have to go, that's okay. But you're welcome to stick around as long as you possibly can, and it's safe for you to do so, because we're always honored to hear from you. So now let's go to our very special guest for today, JASSEM. Welcome.
Hi, Goldie. It's a pleasure to be around. And let me please start by saying, if I'm a Persian, I'll be very proud of this man. He is lifting the entire nation on his shoulders, and wanted to be around and wanted to be relevant to all the victims and to all the sacrifices. And I think Iran can only be a stable nation, one of the most prestigious and the most deepest civilizations in this region. It's only going to be restored with him. I attended online his 100 days project, the transitioning project. It's impressive. I think he has already convinced everyone that he's the next in line. And next in line is after his father, because Iran today is invaded by the Islamic regime, and we're going to dive today into the details of what is waiting for Iran.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And so, guys, just a little bit before we dive in, I do want to just share a little bit about JASSEM as well. So this is JASSEM's X account. So if you have X, please make sure that you are following him. I will put the link to his X account on all of the live stream chats. So you guys, everyone who's tuning in, you guys can check it out there. Let me just add this to X and Rumble as well. And while I do that, JASSEM, would you like to maybe give a brief introduction, who you are, your background story, what do we need to know about you? And yeah, because I know that there's a lot of people tuning in because they're very curious and they're like, oh my gosh, we're hearing from like a real life Arab, right? So no, it's not just Iranians anymore, guys. We're diversifying here. So yeah, and people are very interested to know about you, your background, why you're doing what you're doing, and sort of your story as well.
With pleasure. Actually, I'm half Arab. My mom is originally from Albania, moved to Turkey, and then from Turkey to Egypt. Her grandma is not Muslim. That makes her father is not Muslim. And there are a lot of stories talking about the two names that she had. One of them is a Jewish name. So I'm mixed. My father is originally from the southern Yemen, and we moved to Kuwait long time ago. And Kuwait was the most open-minded country in that region. That's why we moved to that country. So that gives you a sense of how open-minded my parents are. That's one. Two, I'm not Muslim. Even though that I really respect all the moderate Muslims who are believing in coexistence with the differences and allow no Sharia law to be applied on everyone in the name of the Constitution. So I'm not Muslim. Another thing is that I've been active. I was a senior vice president of Kuwait Financial Center for 3 years or more, and then I was also a writer for Al-Qabas, one of the most prestigious publishers in the GCC, writing against the radical Islamists. I never been an anti-Semite who realized that after October 7th that we have to support Israel. I never been on that spectrum. I was always supporting Israel ever since 2016, when I was, voicing out my views to the public. I was fired from Al-Qabas, and then I ran for the parliament just to emphasize on my, in Kuwait, all in Kuwait, because I'm Kuwaiti. So I emphasized my message through the campaign, and they were one of the greatest open-minded and liberal in our region is conservative politicians. So you allow others to practice their belief, and at the same time you want to bring the country together towards any woke movement. And one of the woke movement was the Khomeini revolution and the Islamic revolution that was also colliding with that from the Wahhabism in Saudi Arabia. So we're an open-minded country. My mom used to wear short skirts. Maybe people, they don't believe that this is Kuwait's identity. We wear short skirts, we were singing, we were dancing, and those radical Islamists who invaded Iran, they invaded Kuwait also through the society. So I'm sentenced to serve in jail, 14 years to serve in jail. I escaped my country.
Oh my gosh, you criminal! Yep. JASSEM.
I'm a criminal.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah, I know. All of us are criminals today, right? But exactly. the history is writing something else. The history is saying that we are backing the logic and the common sense, and the future is ours.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I think that's really important. So for many of our viewers, because, they look at, the way you're dressed and they just automatically assume this is like an Islamic thing. And so I'm actually really happy that you're wearing your cultural clothes. And I had a feeling that you would, because this is a great opportunity for you to explain that, these clothes and these outfits, it has nothing to do with religion, because like you said, you're not Muslim, but you're still wearing the traditional clothes of Kuwait and that area. So, and I apologize again, I forget what it's called.
This called agal.
Agal?
This the black thingy. It's called agal, and to keep the qitra, in
The
place.
fitra, okay.
We used to wear them in the heat. Kuwait is
Yeah,
one
it's
of the
for like the desert and stuff. Yeah, to
Kuwait is the
keep.
hottest country that you can ever pass by. I think it's coming from hell or anything. So, and this is dishdasha.
Dish
So
dasha,
it's a
yes.
long dress. They call them dress here in Canada. Every time I send it to the laundry, they say, okay, but we're going to list it in the menu as a woman dress. I say, no worries.
All
Just
right,
add it,
whatever.
whatever it is. So I wanted to show my identity in your live stream, to show that there were Christians, and we still have Christian people in Kuwait, and they're wearing the same traditional dress. We have like 500 Christians, around 500, I think 400 to 500. We have Baha'is who are wearing the same thing, and they're not Muslim. And we have Jewish who left the country, and they were wearing the same thing I'm wearing today. So I just wanted to remind everyone that Kuwait and the entire GCC, they have a different Islam that the IRGC find it as an apostate stated. So they want to, get rid of Kuwait and the Emirates, and you can see the charts. You can see the attacks that Kuwait and the Emirates got. They even got it more than the attacks that Israel received during this war. So,
yeah, and actually, so speaking about that, I want to go to the recent attacks from last night. But I know originally, so we were going to talk about your analysis that you wrote a little while ago. However, I think that your analysis might not necessarily be as correct, or I don't know, I could be wrong here. So why don't we go to that, and then let me read this out, and I'd love to like talk this over with you, okay? So guys, on X, JASSEM wrote this fantastic analysis, okay? And I always have all the time in the world for JASSEM. So let me just read this for you guys. The war on the Islamic Republic of Iran, conflicting concepts of success. So he writes, actually, you know what? Why don't you? Would you like to read it?
I'll just summarize it.
Okay, why don't you summarize it?
It's very easy, to summarize. What I was trying to say, that in the United States, the most important person today is Donald Trump, and his administration is going through the midterm elections. In these kind of instability, while the United States have not called the military operations on the current IRGC as a war, so they wanted to declare success. So they need to also define the success operation to their voters. And the United States had to mention that the MOU could be one of the success measures for Donald Trump to only present it to his voters and get their confidence, gain their confidence for the next election, the next midterm election. Because if he loses the next midterm elections, he's going to lose almost 60% of his power, and the Middle East conflicts won't be dealt the same way as Donald Trump with full power today. So he defined the success and the budget that he spent on this as we reached to a peace agreement. And I told everyone that I met, this is not true. Donald Trump is not going to accept it. He's going only to stall it around, and he's going to also put pressure on the IRGC. And he played two different roles in this. He brought J.D. Vance, where people thought that he's wearing the same turban as Ayatollah, and he's one of them. And I think that was very strategically positioned to keep the United States on the spectrum of peace, which is what is going on in the Middle East is peace. But the Westerns and the Americans are, some of them, they're ignorant. They understand nothing from the Middle East. Only few people understand the Middle East. Benjamin Netanyahu, a few GCC leaders, the Gulf Countries Council leaders, and Donald Trump. So that was the definition of success from the American point of view. There's another definition of success that the IRGC has already declared, that we survived. We've survived, and we want everyone in Iran to understand that God is with us. So this is where things gets complicated. Who is declaring success in the IRGC? Ali Khamenei is dead. We're going to talk about this maybe in depth because I have a very deep analysis. Maybe your audience did not get the chance to understand it from my Arabic space. I had 168,000 people turned to my space. It was huge. We were talking about we said, let's talk about Ali Khamenei and the process of the power transition to the next Ayatollah. And let's talk about the funeral, because we felt really ashamed of a couple of countries from the GCC, and I will openly, talk about them and analyze them. And I've also encouraged you, my friend, to just, criticize whatever you see that is not clear. And I'm here only to bring my own analysis. I might not, resonate with everyone on your channel or your audience. So the definition of success for the GCC is that they wanted to cool things down. They want to, return the trading to the Strait of Hormuz. The Emirates has attacked the IRGC, so that was one of the milestone of the Emirates that we felt proud of. And the Saudi Arabia did not like that fact. They did not like that factor that the Emirates started to attack back. And Donald Trump has said this openly from one of the stages. And he said, who the hell is throwing these bombs on Iran? It was the Emirates. So if you remember that day when we discussed on your channel, and that episode also have seen,
that was the last time we spoke.
200,000, right?
Sudan, I think it was Sudan the last time we
spoke. Oh
yeah.
Dan was there. So the definition of success here, Goldie, not to make the long story short, is that there are three parties, and each party defines success differently, just to pass the midterm elections. But Donald Trump, I think he has no patience, and he went back at the IRGC. So that was my analysis to define to declare success into this military operations. It's not even a war in the book of the United States. We need to declare a war, and we go after it.
He calls it like an excursion. He's like, we're taking a little trip.
Yes,
right?
Excursion, yeah.
Which
sure, excursions.
Itself, it's an insult to the Islamic regime when he calls it an excursion, right? So I mean, there's a few things that I actually disagree with you on. So I actually think President Trump is incredibly patient. I just think his patience has worn out because he has been, with the advice of, certain people behind the scenes, they've been saying to him, like, make a deal and et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's the thing. You said something really important about how, for example, the UAE measures success, right? What does success mean for the Persian Gulf countries or the Middle East or, whatever? I can tell you that for the Islamic regime, they measure success through survival. So every day that the Islamic regime is around, that is, in their view, success, because they call themselves revolutionaries. Because in their minds, the 1979 Islamic coup d'etat, like their revolution didn't end in 1979. It began in 1979. And so they've been using Iran as sort of an ATM, as a base to fund and export their jihad, right? Their terrorism in the Middle East and around the world. So they measure success through survival. So even though the United States has completely obliterated their, military, navy, whatever the case might be, and even as we speak right now, there are I call them boom booms on YouTube because I don't want to be like, I don't want to get like a YouTube violation or whatever. So, the Islamic regime is being boom boomed. Even as we speak right now, like I'm getting breaking news footage of that. For them, it doesn't, like, it's totally irrelevant that pretty much their entire like IRGC force has been decimated, because for them, success is measured through survival. So the fact that they are still around, they're like, oh, la, 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 right? Like we're Allahu Akbar, jihad, whatever, and they're alive for another day to export their terrorism and their jihad, right? The revolution is just code for their jihad. And like you mentioned, you've seen what it's done to Kuwait. I mean, let's not even talk about Yemen and the civil war that's happening in Yemen, and the starvation that's happening because of the Houthis. And the Houthis are actually they're funded by the Islamic regime as well, and the Houthis are trying to take over Yemen the same way that Hezbollah, which is also funded by the Islamic regime, they're trying to take over Lebanon, and of course the Islamic regime took over Iran. So all of this
Yeah.
sort of tied in together, I think.
Look, I'll tell you something. You brought a lot of fronts. Yemen, for example, there is a huge conflict between the United Arab Emirates and the Saudi Arabia, because the Emirates said it's not only about the Houthis. You are the conflicted, you are the corrupted party of this. You are allowing the Muslim Brotherhood and Al Qaeda to regain power over the domestic people. So the Emirates came to the picture in 2017, trying to cleanse the entire Yemen, starting from the south all the way to the north, and they made a huge success. And Saudi Arabia did not like them touching on the Brotherhood and touching on Al Qaeda, because they put their guy in Syria, Ahmed al-Shara, and they wanted to also support Sudan. And we talked about Sudan last time. And today, I think it's clear. The United States have declared that Brotherhood in Sudan are a terrorist group. Who was against them? The Emirates. And I told you one day we're going to see the Muslim Brotherhood in Sudan to be declared as a terrorist group. And that happened. Another thing, the GCC, which is on, I said that this geographical institution has been already dismantled. Though we don't have anything that's sharing values of GCC anymore. Qatar is against our interest, Saudi Arabia is against our interest, and Oman. There are 3 other countries where Mark Rubio visited: Kuwait, Bahrain, and the Emirates. Look at them. They're the most attacked by Iran. Yet, they're the smallest countries in the GCC. What's going on? There's another thing going on, that Saudi Arabia and Iran and the IRGC, they think that they are living in the Islamic house. So they don't want, it's like Real Madrid and Barcelona. They can break each other's knees, right, on the field, but they want to keep them under the same league. They want to compete. They want the people to come to cheer whoever they want to cheer with, but they don't want to have a third party coming in and deciding this relationship. So they don't want the Americans to come and decide. That's why they were close to the Obama administration rather than Trump. Another problem that I also mentioned, look how complicated it is. In Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman is out of the picture. The one who said that Ali Khamenei is the Hitler of our century. So Mohammed bin Salman is now out of...
Sorry, your microphone is a little bit staticky. I don't know if you can maybe lower the...
Is it?
Okay. Maybe, let me see if I can fix it on your settings. Okay, here, let me do this.
I'll try to lower my voice.
Sorry about that.
I'm too excited.
No. This is really interesting. No, this is really interesting, because what you're saying is something that I have been saying as well. But I want to let you finish, and then I'll tell you what I've been saying. But
yeah,
people really appreciate this, because we're getting the tea from the Arabic side of the Middle East, right?
Yes,
so because usually I provide the Iranian perspective, but you're here to provide the Arab perspective, and so
I'm not
really
ideologized.
Appreciate this.
I'm not ideologized, and I went to the UN and I had 2 speeches: one to support Israel and say that the colonizers are the Arabs, who colonized the Persians, who colonized the Jewish, who colonized the Amazics, who colonized the Phoenicians, we colonized the Egyptians. We're the colonizers. We want to throw this behind behind our backs, and we want to look up for a better future. Who disagrees with this is Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Oman. The ones who are agreeing with it is Kuwait, Bahrain, and the Emirates. So Mohammed bin Salman is not in the picture anymore. Okay, I'm telling you. And
Why
I
is
said
that?
this before.
So I'm getting a number of questions about this. So why is MBS out of the picture?
Because MBS was the one who wants to reform the Saudi Arabia political identity. He wants to remove the Islamists out of the picture, and he went after them. He made a lot of mistakes to go after them. I know how difficult it is to go after terrorists, and sometimes you make mistakes because terrorists they will never blink an eye to kill you. So he made mistakes, but he wanted to really cleanse the Saudi Arabia from the radical Islamists. So Mohammed bin Salman today is kept hostage. The king has changed his team. So Mohammed bin Salman is the prime minister and the crown prince, but he took him out of context. He doesn't join the G7, G20, NATO. He doesn't travel outside the Saudi Arabia anymore. So the guy is already held hostage, and I was very close to Mohammed bin Salman. We used to I used to talk with his office manager, Badr al-Asakir. They put me on NBC and Arabia 7 times in 3 weeks. Even Saudi's never been brought to the media as much as a Kuwaiti like JASSEM, who was attacking the radical Islamists in Kuwait. So I'm telling you, there's also that complication where the Saudi diplomacy and the Saudi strategy has been changed. I don't know if it's a strategy anymore. It's just a response metric that they want to just keep staying relevant to the IRGC. And they went to their funeral, even though that they weren't even invited. So they went to the funeral, and then Ali Khamenei's people, this terrorist guy, played an Islamic ayah from Quran to condemn Saudis. They were standing there trying to cry for and mourn for Ali Khamenei, and he played a different, like they're like,
Can you actually explain that? Because I didn't, like, I knew that they played something from the Quran.
It's a love and hate relationship.
But yeah, so here's the thing. You know what? I'll pull up that video because I was very surprised to see Saudi Arabia there. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this analysis. There were 22 I think like Arab Muslim countries who sent dignitaries to Khamenei's funeral. However, I think except for Pakistan, and Pakistan doesn't really count because it's like a fake country. None of those delegations sent like the head of state. So even when like the Saudis sent a delegation, they didn't send a head of state. They just sent like officials on behalf. So I noticed that nuance, but it was also interesting for me. Like, why is Saudi Arabia sending a delegation to the funeral of Khamenei when the IRGC has been not only fighting with Saudi Arabia, not only have they been launching ballistic missiles at Saudi Arabia, but back in the late 1980s, and I showed a documentary on this, back in the late 1980s when the original founder of the Islamic regime, Khomeini, was still alive, he actually declared the House of Saud an enemy of Islam. And I think it was during 1987, he declared that all like the Shias who go to their annual pilgrimage, the Hajj in Mecca, to like try and take over. And then there was this huge clash, and there was like 250 like Iranian terrorists who were killed, which I don't really care about, right? Because they're terrorists. And then I heard like it says that 85 Saudi policemen were also murdered during the fights and demonstrations. So the Islamic regime has been constantly at war with Saudi Arabia because the different sects of Islam, like right, like the Shias believe someone is the descendant of Muhammad, and then the Sunnis believe it's like someone else is the number 2 descendant or whatever, right? So that's basically what it is. But they've been all this infighting. However, you made a very good analogy about like that football game where they might be opposing teams, but they're in the same league, and that league is Islam. So even though they are willing to fight amongst one another, when it comes to the non-Muslims, right, like the United States or the infidels or whatever, these jihadis, they will unite because they believe that, you know, they have to unite to, you know, against the infidel. So is that why Saudi Arabia sent a delegation to the, you know, Khamenei's funeral, or like what's going on here? I'm going to pull up the video, by the way.
Yeah, they're in a very good relationship, by the way. During the war, they were calling each others. They were like discussing the progress of what is going on. And there are two countries who did not have a conversation with, or three countries. They did not even have a simple phone call with Arafji, that terrorist. Kuwait, Bahrain, and the Emirates. And in Saudi Arabia's views that the Emirates is not a really Islamic state. It's not a Muslim state. They say you're backing the Zionist, you're backing openness, liberation, whatever it is, and you're staying away from Sharia law. And when you stay away from the Sharia law, you are an upstate country. And look. By the way, this is a big. This is not a low-profile delegation. It's a high-profile. This guy is the vice minister of the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Which one? Which one?
The guy in the front. Yeah, this scumbag in the front. This guy is the vice minister. So it's.
But he's still not the head of state, right? So I mean, sure, they sent someone who's sort of like mid-level.
They don't go to funerals, by the way, just for your information.
They don't. Okay.
They don't. No, head of states, they don't go to funerals. Funerals of that sort, they call them the ajnabi, the ajmi, the ajam, which is the foreigners. They sent only a delegation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's it. So they've sent the highest delegation. This is the vice minister. So usually they send the ambassador. At least, you know, they send an ambassador. They say, okay, it's a low profile. You know, we have conflicts. We don't want to, you know, compromise much. But they compromise so much in this delegation. And Kuwait did not go. Emirates didn't go. Bahrain didn't go, and they said, you know what, we're in a different interest here. We're gonna wait until we destroy this IRGC. And there are different ways to look at it, Goldie. Yeah, so do you want to play the video?
Yeah, I do. Oh, and can I just say,
I will throw out. Is it okay to throw out?
That's okay. I've been. It's okay. I just, you know, whenever I see this, I'm just like, so it's all good. But you know what? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of the puking stuff whenever I see the jihadis. But what's like the entire funeral was such a joke. I mean, I listened to the music. The music, like, they sound like they're out of tune. It sounds like a high school or like an elementary band, right? Like, it's just the worst. But then you said something about how they played like one surah over another. So I want to get to that part as well. And I'd love for you to explain that, because I didn't know that. Like, it's just so embarrassing, the music quality. Like, this is the best they could do for Khamenei's funeral. Like, such a joke. Okay, so wait, before we go, Justin, just what does this say? I know this is probably something from the Quran. Do you know what it's probably like some sort of ayah from the Quran. I know it's Arabic, but that's about all I know. I think I just see the Allah at the end.
It says, wait, let me read it. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Yeah, it's like let's pray for the Abdullah ibn al-Hussein, which is al-Hussein, It's a prayer for Al-Hussein, and he's Abdullah. He's a a slave of Allah.
Yeah.
So it's a Shia statement that Saudi is resenting. So he puts everything that Saudi Arabia disbelieve of. Keep going.
So guys, so this is important here because remember, I've explained this, in more basic terms. So remember that the Shia Sunni, like the Shia Muslims, believe that one particular person was became the the imam after Muhammad died, and then the Saudis, who are Sunni, believe like a different one. So this phrase is like it's from Shia Islam, and remember the Saudis are Sunni, so now I guess they're coming to like give their respects or whatever, but they're now dealing with this like Shia thing, right, which is against their version of Islam. So okay, so now we get to like the Bismillah part, and you're gonna translate this for us, right? Because this is the context I wanted from you.
I will.
All right, so let me play this, and then Justin will explain what's happening here.
I'll send you that. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قد كان لكم آية في فئتين التقتا.
Oh, guys, by the way, that's a Shia flag as well. So you see that black flag? That's a Shia flag. So this is, again, remember, the Sunnis and the Shias are fighting, right? So the Saudis showed up, and it's all like Shia stuff, right? So this, this is actually like a terrible look for the Saudis because it almost seems like they're submitting to Shia Islam, right? Like it's actually embarrassing and demeaning.
It is.
Yeah.
فئة تقاتل في سبيل الله وأخرى كافرة يرونهم مثليهم رأي العين.
Look at his face.
Zarya, look at his face.
Look, he said what? He played that ayah?
Yeah, because his eyebrows go up. The guy in the back, right?
He's like, what?
Like his face.
He didn't expect it.
Well, you know what? Right at the beginning, like basically, so here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed this, but as soon as they start that particular ayah, and then guys, Jassem's gonna explain. Jassem's gonna explain what this is, because this is actually like the sort of, this is the tea. This is the tea on like, the drama between the various like jihadi countries, and Jassem is here to spill all the tea. But look at this guy's expression. So this guy right here, as soon as the Quran starts playing like that particular thing, look at his eyebrows. His eyebrows go up like he's like super shocked. Look at that. Like his eyebrows go up.
It didn't start yet, but look at the voice.
This one?
This guy got shocked. Look, keep going, because it's about the first phrase.
لكم آية في فئتين.
Oh, I saw the eyes moving.
Yeah, فئتين.
The eyes moving. That's like an oh my god.
التقتا. فئة تقاتل في سبيل الله وأخرى كافرة يرونهم مثليهم رأي.
Look at it. He's not interested anymore. You know what it says? Let me quickly explain it.
Yeah.
It says, let's throw an example here. That's what the ayah says from Quran al-Karim. And it says that there were two different groups. One is believing in God, and one is disbelieving God. And the one that believes in God and the disbelievers, they fought, and the disbelievers leaned to the believers. So he is from that side, the disbelievers who leaned and kneel to the believers. So he was like, does he mean that we are the disbelievers? Why we're here to offer our mourn and condolences to Ali Khamenei, our example? Why would you say that? So that shows you that the rivalry between both never ends. But you know what? Don't get involved. If you get involved, we both gonna work together because we both knows how to kill each others, and we want to legitimize the killing of each other. So we were good, okay? But if you bring a third party like the Emirates who wants to shovel the game and says like both of you are non-Muslim, we think that both of you are very radical. We want to offer a new Islam. And if people really follow the Islam of the Emirates, maybe half of this world will follow Islam because it's a different Islam. It's totally different Islam. So Ali Khamenei's people, which is in my views, it's Ayatollah Iraqi. We can get into the analysis.
They're from Najaf and Karbala and whatever.
Yeah, Ayatollah Arafi, Ayatollah Arafi, and Alam al-Huda. They're both are the highest ranked Islamists and scholars in the school of Ayatollah. So they're next into the power. So it's not Mujtaba. We talked about Mujtaba is dead. That was my views. And if you don't
Do you actually
attend,
think so? Do you actually think he's dead?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know why? I'll tell you why. If you're the next leader, he's not Ayatollah yet, because there are.
They made him. He's now Sayyid
No, he's not Ayatollah.
Imam. No. They can do whatever they want, right? So they've
He
already
is in transition.
Oh, is he?
Is in transition. Yeah. He's the emergency leader. He's not the Ayatollah yet, because Ayatollah and the procedure has to be after burying the current Ayatollah. It's the procedure. No, it's not. People are getting this wrong. Look, listen.
But I think the reason they're getting this wrong is because the Islamic regime, like ever since he had his weird swearing in ceremony where they showed his picture, they've been calling him the Ayatollah ever since, even though he's not.
Look, there's something called the Udul al-Muslimin. It's in the Shia. It's in the Shia system. It's in the 12th Imams. And one of them is that you have a transition for the hidden leader. It's a figure. It's like something
that's their Imam Zaman. Imam Zaman. That's the guy that's stuck in the wall.
Imam Zaman is still a superstitious figure that is hidden in one of the basements. Only few people can see him and have a conversation with. Okay. Now they're trying to, we call them the individual wolves around. They're trying now to bring a narrative that Ali Khamenei is someone who is living amongst us, but he is not physically living with us. Now Mujtaba, look, Mujtaba is hidden. And if you don't attend the funeral and take the stage for the Jum'ah prayer, which is following after the funeral, because they have to take Ali Khamenei to Iraq. There is a tour. He has to tour around a couple of cemeteries, and then he has to come back to Mashhad. So if you go back to Mashhad and you're buried in Mashhad, someone has to take the stage. This is the next Ayatollah. It's not Mujtaba. Mujtaba technically is not Ayatollah, because Ayatollah has not yet buried. Okay, that's from the book. So the procedure that they're trying to stall now and whatever during that war is that, you know what, Mujtaba is around, but we don't want to let the intelligence to understand where Mujtaba is, because Mujtaba was one of the members who were attacked by the USA and Israel on that night, the first ever day. So they said Mujtaba is dead already. Now we want to use Mujtaba as a hidden figure, and the intelligence cannot get any reports to Israel or the United States. And we have a couple of, Udul al-Muslimin. They call them Udul. Udul means the most trusted elite group. So the trusted elite groups is composed of like 3 or 4 people, because if you are in a system of Ayatollah system. So Ayatollah system is you have a figure that speaks God's words through his mouth. So if that guy is not available for the people to ask him questions about how they're messed up in their life, whatever it is, politically or religiously, if he's not available, then he's not Ayatollah yet. So to them, they are in a transition that took a long time, and we were analyzing that Ali Khamenei is the last Ayatollah. In our analysis that we wrote in 2017 and 2018, we said Ali Khamenei is not, he's going to be the last Ayatollah, because we don't see anyone in line that is close to him. So again, Mujtaba, if he doesn't attend the funeral, then he is not the next Ayatollah. He has lost that condition to take the stage and pray the Jummah prayer and declare Iran as the USA is our enemy, Israel is our enemy, the Arabs of not Shia are also our enemy, and we have like love and hate relationship with Saudi Arabia now and Qatar. That's a different case. But if he doesn't go up there and takes the mic and say these things and take the power from Ali Khamenei, this is the blessing, then there is no Ayatollah in the procedure. So they're missing the procedure. And I think Ayatollah A'rafi or Alam al-Huda, I think one of them is going to take the stage one day. And this is the most important moment for the intelligence to revive their work. They want to go to collect some information and intelligence, and then they plan their next attack. You cannot do anything today. They were very smart, by the way, to hide this figure. Let's give them some credit, those terrorists. They hid the figure who gave all these orders. And me and you now discussing Mujtaba. Mujtaba was in the same room, was attacked and destroyed. His father, his mom, his sisters, whatever, they were all killed. He cannot be a survivor because they were in the same room. Believe me, in my opinion, in my views, he did not show up yet. If he doesn't, then in the condition of Ayatollah, he is out of the race.
So a couple of things I'm going to push back on.
Please do.
Yeah. So, your analysis about, whether or not he can be the Ayatollah, it's based on logic, and it's based on fact, and it's based on rules. You have to remember, the Islamic regime is a totalitarian, authoritarian dictatorship. They literally make up rules on the spot. I mean, the whole concept of Velayat al-Faqih, like, that's considered shirk, right? Because like in Islam itself, no one is allowed to represent God or speak on behalf of Allah or whatever, right? But Khomeini made up this whole concept of Velayat al-Faqih. So first of all, this entire system that they created is shirk. So of course, like, this is how the Islamic regime has operated. They have been breaking the rules for 47 years. So you gave a very reasonable, rational, logical explanation, but I would say that your mistake is assuming that the Islamic regime is rational, reasonable, and logical. They will literally make rules and break rules, and they'll create new rules and conditions to fit whatever narrative that they want.
This is what happened. They created the exception. Okay, the exception is what? Mujtaba is not in line. Mujtaba is not in line.
But
Ali
the thing
Khamenei,
is, but in like in Islamic regime media outlets and all that stuff, they're all like they've already referred to him as the the Ayatollah, the third supreme dictator, all these things. So he's already there. They've already legitimized him. And in fact, like there's a lot of media outlets that are now like all these conspiracy theories. But I want to show you, like, I call this the boom boom Durka jihadi bingo sheet.
Yeah.
So this
Where's
is like
Ayatollah Arafi? Is there?
Arafi. I don't think he's here. Arafi is from Iraq, right?
No, Ayatollah Arafi.
Arafi. Wait. Where
Ayatollah Arafi.
I have Abadi, Kermani. Where is Arafi? I don't know. Maybe he's
And
down here.
Alam al-Huda. Alam al-Huda is Iranian. Alam al-Huda
Yeah.
is Iranian. Where is
I don't
he?
know. Let's see if we can
Look.
find him.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Arafi. Let's see. Up
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's Ali Reza Arafi.
Do you see?
Yeah.
The Guardian Council.
Yeah.
This is the closest to the power.
Yeah.
Madrasi, but Ayatollah Arafi, he was the closest because he took one of the Jummah prayers from Ali Khamenei once.
Guys, so oh my gosh, so guys, everyone pull out your boom boom bingo sheets because JASSEM, guys, so JASSEM, this is amazing because every single time we unlock a new character on the boom boom bingo sheet, we always like talk about this. So guys, JASSEM just helped us unlock a new character, Arafi. Okay, so on the boom boom bingo sheet, we've unlocked a new Pokemon, right? So we're collecting all the Pokemon. It's like our bingo sheet, right? So we got to go through them. So this is Arafi. So you think that he might be sort of vying to be next in line if Mojtaba is dead?
Yeah, in my views, he is dead, and Ayatollah
But here's the thing.
Arafi.
So I do want to push back on that because normally I would agree with you. However, yeah. JASSEM is like, what kind of show did I agree to come on? JASSEM, we have a lot of a lot of inside jokes here. But yeah, so
Guys, you have to listen to the different analysis. We're close to those radical Islamists, and we bring them on our spaces, and they expose themselves.
Yeah. So here's the only reason why I'm pushing back on whether or not Mojtaba is alive or dead. I mean, initially, I thought that he was dead. And I was like, okay, so the IRGC, like this guy, Vahidi, because he's in control of the regime. And you can tell, like, like the mark on the forehead? Yeah, that shows how, like, radical he is, right? So there you go. So, like, literally, he's insane. So my theory is that the IRGC pretty much like forced everyone to confirm Mojtaba as the supreme dictator because this way they can control everything that's happening behind the scenes. Now, initially I thought he was dead, which makes sense. But then, President Trump and Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth have all sort of confirmed that no, he's alive. However, he's injured or disfigured or whatever the case might be. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. But this is why.
But from the Islamic perspective on the system, okay, when you create an exception, he has to fit in the definition, because if you don't fit in the definition, all of them will think that there is something wrong going on, because Ali Khamenei and Khomeini, they were holding it, gripping the system with their own hands. Okay, they're dictators, bunch of dictators. So there are two conditions. One is if he is not available, or he doesn't exist. Okay, he's not publicly available. That's one of the conditions. And second condition, that he is dismantled or he is handicapped, that he cannot serve.
Yeah, I think he might be in like a coma or something. Like I heard he's.
This is the thing. No, it's exactly the same condition as a dead person in their system. He is in a coma. He cannot communicate with the believers. So they have a problem with him in two conditions: whether he is already dead, or he is in a coma or dismantled, that he cannot even have a conversation with someone. You might have a lot of reasons not to have a conversation with someone, but not one of them is allowing you to hide from your father's funeral. None of them. Okay, so if he doesn't show up, and I want to challenge my fellow friends who are following us now, guys, if he doesn't show up in the funeral, he has no other reason but to be disappearing in two ways. But he can't be around because he is dismantled, he cannot walk, he cannot speak, he cannot look, he's deaf, who knows? Or he is already dead and they're keeping the cardboard somewhere. They're saying, okay, see the cardboard, we're gonna hide it again. So the cardboard is when also the United States wants to entertain the radical Islamists to say, you know what, we believe that you have Mujtaba Khamenei now, and he is your next Ayatollah. Where is the procedure? Where is the one in line? Because you said you are following a system. Okay, it's not a dictatorship. You have declared that it's not a dictatorship. Where is the system? Okay, do the transition now in front of everyone, and we're going to give you this like clear airspace. Go ahead. Where's the next one in line? It's very tricky, Goldie, when it comes to religious. Okay, because by the way, everything that happened to us is through their own book. Okay, we have to really keep the track of what's behind our distraction. It's them, and them following a book, not following anything else. Believe me, this is how it works. There's one more thing I want to say. Let's say the procedure takes place and the next Ayatollah has been called. There is one more element to the story keeps popping up in the Shia spectrum. Okay, one of them is, and I brought one of the high elite scholar. Okay, today he's an enlightened person. He's an amazing person. He is fighting radical Islamists. He's a different person today. He said, and he exposed everything. He said, look, Jassem, now Ali Khamenei is going to be the hidden figure for a while. Yeah, the hidden figure. Like we can call him in our, closed group meetings, and he's gonna show up and then say, I'm proud of you guys. Keep doing it. Mujtaba, come. I wanted to do 1, 2, 3. And then they're gonna issue reports about this. They said if this is a stage where they're gonna reach next, the problem is not going to be around only the circle that you showed now on that chart, the people with the bomb. No, it's going to be a lot of people going to believe in superstition next, that Ali Khamenei is not dead and he's living amongst us. His body is only gone, and Ali Khamenei was like something holy. Do you remember how did they go and kiss his hands and sit under him and whatever?
Don't remind me.
They think he is something superstitious. Like and by the way, Iran
did you
today.
See what they did to Khomeini's body? So I did a documentary watch party a few nights.
Yeah, he was. I saw his clothes were like.
Yeah, and this one guy like dives into the coffin and is like French kissing the dead face of Khomeini, like milk. Like it was just like the grossest thing, and then everyone's just like hitting their heads and like Allahu Akbar. It's like the craziest thing.
Do you know what is the status of Iran today? The status, the religious status, is the Qubbat al-Muslimin, is the direction of Muslims. Okay, I'm talking about the 12th, the Shia. They think now Iran is under attack, and it's the Qubbat al-Muslimin. They are the ground of the Islam that needs to be protected, because there is no Ayatollah yet, and Allah, the hidden figure, is expecting them to protect it until he decides who comes next. So you're in another, it's not political or anything, this is religion. You're in a spectrum of, okay, what's next? Are we going to stay in that spectrum of Allah is protecting us and there is no Ayatollah, and Allah said, I want to take care of you guys for a while? Or are you going to name the next Ayatollah quickly after you bury the body? This is where we're at now. And everyone is really waiting for that name to come at the next Jum'ah prayer. So let's see.
So you know what? Again, like I think this is a very, very like excellent analysis, but your analysis is predicated on the assumption that the Islamic regime is rational and it follows the rules. They don't follow the rules. Like for 47 years, they've literally made rules and they've broken rules. So yeah, I mean, I would be very interested to see what happens because like within Islamic regime circles, they're referring to Mujtaba as the third Ayatollah. And if we go back to
I sent you a video, Goldie.
where
Let's
on
laugh a little bit
WhatsApp?
on WhatsApp. The video is what we made. He's one of our friends. What we made of the Saudis. We call them now. We call them the ostrich of the GCC. Okay. Look at them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me pull this up.
Yeah. And I shared it. Everyone shared
Guys,
it.
so I'm telling you, like Middle Eastern memes are next level, guys. So I've shared a lot of like Iranian memes with you. You're about to see some Arab memes, and oh my gosh, this is oh no, guys, look at this. So this is an Arab meme, where the Arabic people are making fun of the Saudis for attending. Oh my gosh.
Bismillah.
And then the procedure starts.
Oh no. Okay, guys.
Yes.
So remember, guys, the reason that the ostriches, right, the Saudis, apparently they're crying is because remember when the Saudis showed up, the Islamic regime played that surah or whatever where they're talking about the believers and the disbelievers, and then the disbelievers came to kneel before the believers. So the Saudis are literally standing there. They're standing here, sort of kneeling before the corpse of Khamenei.
Because he's higher.
Yeah, which is higher, by the way. It's higher, and then there's all this like Shia symbolism, right? So the black Shia flag and whatever, and then and then the Quranic verse or whatever, the surah, whatever it is, they're reading is about the non-believers submitting to the believers, and they're doing that while the Saudis are paying their respects. So that's why their expression is just like, I cannot believe this is happening right now.
Yeah.
And so that's why this meme was made, because now this is essentially the Saudis and their
Can you see this? Can you see this? Do you see how we resent the Saudis' position? I was the proudest person on earth when my Emir decided not to go. And he said, they attacked us and they killed us. We need to collectively work towards, because this Emir, by the way, he's an exceptional Emir. When I was in Kuwait, I was calling for a new constitution to remove the Sharia law from our constitution and to revoke the citizenship from those radical Islamists who came and they fake their identities. I said, we want to do this. And they rose cases against me and they win it. They won all these cases. And he revoked the citizenship of those political Islam. And he said, go back to Saudi Arabia or go to Turkey. Bye-bye. I don't want to see you here ever again. And another thing, the new constitution is coming in 2 years. Look, and he decided not to go. He said, I'm not going. No communication between us and the IRGC. we are going to back the United Arab Emirates today. So you see now Mohammed bin Zayed is arriving, His Highness, to Kuwait to just shake hands with Sheikh Mish'al, and he said, this is what we wanted. We don't want to be the only one, the lonely country that fights the radical Islamists by themselves. We want someone else, and Kuwait has helped the United Arab Emirates before their foundation date. We helped them. We funded the United Arab Emirates, and we love that fact about the United Arab Emirates. They surpassed us. They're now in a different spectrum. They're like a different country in the GCC. They're not the same. It's not the same as Kuwait. Kuwait used to be that level, but now I'm proud, at least, that my emir did not go, and he resented the IRGC.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. Jassem, I know your time is limited, but as you can see from the comments, everyone
I love your show.
So
I love your show, Gigi.
everyone is so appreciative that you're here. People are getting so much love. Jassem, I don't want to put you on the spot, but we might have to make you, like, I don't know, a regular guest, maybe if your schedule permits. It would be amazing if you could join us maybe once a week on Iran Revolution Live to kind of give the Arab perspective of, you know, what's happening in the Middle East with the Islamic regime and Iran and everything like that. So don't want to put you on the spot, but see us. And, you know, Gandalf. So Gandalf is actually another Iranian from inside of occupied Iran. And, you know, when, and so, you know, when the internet was shut down for 90 days, Gandalf wasn't here with us because he wasn't able to join. And so many of us, we didn't even know if Gandalf, you know, again, not his real name or image, right? But many of us didn't know if, you know, Gandalf and many other Iranians are, you know, alive or dead or whatever. And we were so worried. So, but yeah, Gandalf, who is inside of occupied Iran, says that, you know, just, I'm looking at all the comments here. So, okay, so guys, we have to make JASSEM sort of like maybe we can call it, like, you know, JASSEM Thursdays or something. We'll figure it out. But, you know, depending on your schedule, of course. But I know you have to go briefly. There's a few things I wanted to share with you. So as we know, last night, the Islamic regime, they attacked Kuwait. Okay. And the Kuwaiti, air defense, Ministry of Defense put out a warning. So can you give maybe, like, you know, 1 or 2 minute explanation? Why is the Islamic regime attacking Kuwait of all places? Like, why? So, you know, the United States went after IRGC bases. So why is the Islamic regime responding by attacking Kuwait of all places?
Kuwait has revoked the citizenship of a lot of IRGC sympathizers. And they said, if you ever support the IRGC on your social media, even for Kuwaitis, you're going to find yourself behind the bars for 3 years with no discussions. You're going to be behind the bars. If you don't back your own country, you're going to be behind the bars for 3 years. So Kuwait has put a strong statement against the IRGC that they are our enemy. And there are a lot of Shias in Kuwait. They started to, you know, live in a conflict, whether they back the current emir, which is like holding with the face of iron, those people who are trying to glorifying the IRGC while they're attacking us. And the other part is that they started to go after the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood are sharing the same values of the IRGC. So they're working together, Hamas, and the ones in Sudan, and the ones in Yemen, where they also sleep on this in the same bed with the Houthis. So Sheikh Mish'al is against them completely. And at the same time, Sheikh Mish'al said, I'm not going to allow anyone to travel over my space.
For our viewers who are not familiar, who's Sheikh Mish'al?
Sheikh Mish'al is His Royal Highness is our Emir, the current Kuwaiti Emir.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I support. His first foreign visit was to Ataturk, to Ataturk's grave. And he offered his respect to Ataturk. And this message, the radical Islamists and the Muslim Brotherhood did not like. And Ataturk was
Ataturk
a
was
great
also
friend, to the grandfather of the current Pahlavi.
Yeah, I was just
His
going to
Royal
say,
Highness.
Reza Shah the Great and Ataturk were very good friends, and in fact, the only official, state travel that Reza Shah the Great did was to go visit Ataturk in Turkey.
Yes. So that's Sheikh Mishal, and Kuwait said, you know what, you cannot get involved in any sovereign decisions that we have. You don't get to decide whether I have deals with the United States or not, because we have three armies, 3 army camps. We have the army bases, French, British, and the United States. Okay, we said we're not going to compromise our relationship with those 3 countries and allow your tyranny to override our sovereignty. So this was always the case with Kuwait, and they saw that the Emirates can retaliate, and they said, oh, we're not going to touch the Emirates now. We're going to only attack Kuwait. And Saudi Arabia is watching. They did not even defend us. They're watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know your time is limited, and I don't want to keep you, but there's one final thing. There's this song and this video, and given that you are able to translate the Durka Jihadi for us, I was really hoping that you, before you leave, and guys, for all of our viewers, JASSEM has to go, but he'll be back. I was just really hoping that you could translate the lyrics of this song.
Okay.
These are the Houthis, and I've spoken about the Houthis. I've explained the Houthis. So guys, the Houthis are the ones who are invading and occupying Yemen, the western part of Yemen, and the Houthis are aligned with the Islamic regime. Remember the IRGC, and the
they
Houthis
the
are
northern part. Yeah,
the northern part. Okay,
they call them this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, when you think of like the Durkas, the Houthis are like the stereotypical ones, right? They literally choose something called khat, which is like a drug. So they're always high, and they're literally ones that just wave guns and they dance over the flag of Israel, and they're just like, oh, la, 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 right? And then there's this song, and for some reason, like it's in Arabic. But I've always wanted to know, like, what is this song actually saying? Because it's like this choreographed dance jihadi music thing. So, JASSEM, if you could just translate this for us, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
وعلنا من بعد يكون أهوالها لا تقل ما لها بال خلقه ما لها كمن لدي صار ما يخطر على بالها لا تقل ما لها بال خلقه ما لها كمن لدي صار ما يخطر على بالها.
Bunch of idiots. They're saying we are for it. We're going to face it. They have to follow the arithmetic wording as well, and the lyrics, and they're saying we're going to take their money, we're going to destroy them, and they're going to learn who they're going to learn who's the champion at the end of the story. And I can see the champions are dancing over a flag, and they call this a success. So those people are Houthis. By the way, they are also an indigenous people. By the way, they are indigenous people of Yemen. They've been always there in the north side, which is western north. They call them the Northens. So those Yemenis are backed by Iran because Saudi Arabia attacked them, and then Iran said, hey, hello, they're my people. And then Saudi Arabia said, oh, we're going to back up. We're going to go attack the United Arab Emirates in the south. And that's it. And then they change their narratives. So those people are like the ignorant people. It's like a small gathering place. They go with everyone holding, an arm there. And then sometimes they kill each other, by the way, by mistakes. And then they say, okay, just bury them, make more people, make more kids. So it's the qat. They keep storing the qat behind. And they join our spaces, by the way. I don't understand nothing from them when they join our spaces.
Really? They join your Arab spaces? Honestly,
yes.
This is why, like, I wish I could understand Arabic, because sometimes, like, I'll see the spaces and there's so many people, and there's so much drama,
Really,
but
you know?
I don't understand. So like I come in and I listen, but I don't understand anything except for when someone says like Al Iran, then that I understand. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Sorry, really quick. This video, if you so this is from last night. I think this was a Kuwaiti man.
Kuwaiti.
Yeah, and he was saying something. If you could translate this as well for us really quickly before you go.
Okay.
والله يا اخوان تو الامام يقول الله اكبر الا الصافرات من الارض تشتغل واحنا قاعد نصلي الدرايش قاعد تهتز بس ما نقول الا الله يلعن ايران وزين يسوي فيكم تراب خلي يلعن والده والده.
Let me tell you, because my friends have arrived. We have
Okay,
a gathering
okay.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's saying, curse to Iran. We were praying our Fajr prayer, and our windows were shaky. And Iranians, the IRGC started to attack us. And we support Donald Trump what he's doing with you guys, and we hope one day not to find you alive. So this is the Kuwait sentiment now. They were attacking me for this, but now it's opening it.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. We'll leave it there because I know you have to go. JASSEM, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we can make this a thing. Maybe you can join us once a week. We'll talk about it later. But guys, everyone, say thank you to JASSEM and make sure you're following him on X. He does great work. Thank you, JASSEM.
Thank you so much, Goldie.
Shukran.
With all the respect and love to your audience. Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Thank you so much, JASSEM. Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Okay, so that was our amazing special guest, JASSEM, who joined us, and he had to go. May or may not have something to do with FIFA, but that's okay. That's okay. I promise you, we'll bring him back, and with his schedule permitting, hopefully we can make this like a weekly thing. But yes, this is this is the kind of stuff that you don't see, right? So here, if we go back to this video, so this gentleman in Kuwait, he's speaking Arabic. I speak Persian. But JASSEM is able to translate this, obviously, and he said that this gentleman, after the strikes by the IRGC against Kuwait, he's saying in Arabic that he supports President Trump and the United States, and everything that is going to come to the Islamic regime, they deserve it, and he hopes that the IRGC is destroyed. So a very important perspective, because I talk a lot about the Durkas, I talk a lot about the jihadis, but as you can tell, the Islamic regime, sorry, not Islamic regime, as you can tell, the Middle East is much more diverse than people think, right? And you can never just look at someone and judge them based on their appearance or their name or which country they're from, right? Because there is a lot of diversity. It's just, like for those of us who are from the Middle East, like we see the diversity, but for many who are not from the Middle East, and it's just kind of like this homogenous sort of area. So I hope that JASSEM's perspective as a Kuwaiti pro-Israel, anti-jihad, non-Muslim Arab gives you a little bit more of an in-depth understanding of a lot of the nuances, right? So this is really important. This is why I always talk about the Durkas, right? I never say, I never mention a nationality or an ethnicity or a religion or a culture or a language, right? Because that Durka jihadi Islamist ideology is not about a particular language or appearance or whatever the case might be. So there you go. There's a little bit of cultural enrichment for you. And I'm so happy that you guys appreciated and enjoyed JASSEM. We'll definitely bring him back. I'll reach out to him afterwards, because guys, that meme. So what's really interesting about this? So the meme that he shared. Okay, let's go back to the ostrich meme for a moment here. I didn't even realize this, but the link that he shared, the guy who made this meme actually follows me. So I didn't realize I have a lot of like Arab followers as well. So I'm gonna follow this guy back because this ostrich meme was absolutely hilarious. And I would have never known about this meme, and I would have never known about how the Arabs are making fun of Saudi Arabia if JASSEM hadn't come here and shared this with us, right? So, yeah. Wait, is there an issue with YouTube? Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if there's like issues with YouTube, guys. It's wild. I really do apologize for that. But yeah, so like this meme, this like ostrich meme, I would have had no idea about this. So I love the fact that not just me, but all of us, we're sort of getting that in-depth insight into the Arab perspective, right? And who better than JASSEM? Now, he did mention, and guys, I will get to your questions and comments and super chats momentarily, but I just wanted to share something as well from JASSEM. So he mentioned a little bit a while ago that he spoke at the United Nations, and I pulled up one of his clips. So I wanted to share this with you. So this is JASSEM, and he's speaking at the United Nations. It's only about 90 seconds long.
I now give the floor to the representative of United Nations Watch.
سيد الرئيس، في خضم الحرب التي يشعلها هذا النظام بعدوانيته.
So here he is. He's speaking in Arabic, right? So just follow along with the captions.
سيد الرئيس، في خضم الحرب التي يشعلها هذا النظام بعدوانيته، يستمر في تعدياته الوحشية ضد دول الخليج العربية، بالأخص الكويت والإمارات، اللتين تتعرضان يوميا لهجمات صاروخية ومسيرات إيرانية تستهدف أراضيهما وبنيتهما التحتية وسكانهما الآمنين. الكويت التي ارتبط اسمها دائما بالدبلوماسية والوساطة وبناء السلام، والإمارات رمز الانفتاح والسلام والتعايش ومقاومة الإسلام السياسي، هما اليوم هدف مباشر للعدوان الإيراني. الإمارات الباحثة عن السلام والتعايش مع الجميع تقف صامدة في وجه الإسلام السياسي المتطرف في كل مكان، وخاصة في الجنوب العربي. الإمارات لم تكتفي بالمقاومة، بل قدمت دعما لوجستيا وأمنيا حاسما لصوماليلاند لتعزيز الاستقرار والأمن البحري في منطقة القرن الأفريقي. الأمم المتحدة مدعوة اليوم للوقوف مع السلام الحقيقي، لا الصمت أمام نظام يصدر الإرهاب والفوضى والصواريخ. يجب محاسبة نظام الملالي فورا، ودعم الدولة السلمية مثل الكويت والإمارات في دفاعهما المشروع عن سيادتهما واستقرارهما في الإقليم. استمعت للممثل السعودي قبل قليل، اعترض وقال لا توجد تعديات من المملكة في الجنوب العربي، فماذا سيقول لنا عن وفد الجنوب المختطف وقتل أسرة العامودي بأكملها في الجنوب وقصفها للحليف الإمارات؟ هل كان ذلك أيضا عدم تعدي؟ على السعودية أن تتوقف فورا عن هذه الأعمال. وأخيرا، لماذا تم اختيار 3 ممثلين من هذا النظام العدواني من قبلكم مستشارين مؤخرا لشؤون تتعلق بحقوق الإنسان؟
I know.
So there's our very own JASSEM, who is at the United Nations and speaking. So I will definitely bring him back. And we're just so grateful to have him here. Always a pleasure for to get the Arab perspective, right? Because guys, the Arab perspective is also really important when it comes to Iran and the Islamic regime and the Iranian revolution, right? So very grateful to him for coming here and giving us that perspective and that analysis as well. And of course, a little bit of cultural enrichment for all of you. You get a little bit more of a broader understanding of who are people from the Middle East, right? Because again, I focus a lot on the Durkas, I focus a lot on the terrorists and the jihadis, but that's not all, right? There are a lot of normal people in the Middle East, and so I'm grateful that JASSEM was here to kind of show that perspective and share that with all of you. All right, so let's go to your questions and comments, and then guys, make sure that you turn on your notifications, that you like and subscribe, because later tonight, probably in about 3 or 4 hours maybe. I'm gonna do my evening live stream of the Goldie show, and we are going to do a deep dive into all the latest breaking news about the boom booms, President Trump, the Islamic regime, who's alive, who's dead, all of that stuff. So you want to make sure that you are, you stick around for that, because that is going to be very interesting and very spicy. So let's go to your questions and comments. So Tread says, hi, while you're enjoying the music video. Oh, I guess you must have sent this during the pre-show. Well, hello. Thank you so much for being here. And then Tread gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Tread. Michael sent a super sticker. Thank you, Michael. And Atki says, the Islamic Republic is now so unpopular, even the coffins are defecting. Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen some footage of these coffins being like chased around and stuff, right? So yeah, it's absolutely wild. So these are some older ones, but guys, JASSEM did see all of your messages and he sends all his love. So Eli says, welcome, JASSEM. Nice to see you. Amir gifted a membership. Thank you. They have a KFC flag. You know, Red Dragon, I noticed that as well. Like when I saw that video, at first, like I had to like do a double take because I was like, wait, is this the KFC flag? So let me show you guys what Red Dragon is referring to. Honestly, it's this one here. This one here, like if you kind of look at it and you know, like it's blurry. Honestly, it does kind of look like KFC, right? Like the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, is this KFC? But then I was like, oh no, wait, it's not. But it does kind of like, it does kind of have like that KFC feel to it, right? I don't know. It was just, it caught me off guard as well, Red Dragon. So it's not just you. Like I kind of got the same sort of vibe from that. Fickle Knot, I'm very interested in JASSEM's perspective. Oh, amazing. Okay, I'm so glad. So guys, I will work with JASSEM and I will definitely try to see if I can have him be like a regular guest. Maybe he can join us once a week, his schedule permitting. Because I'm always like, guys, him and I, like we're always chatting on WhatsApp, right? So like we're always going back and forth on WhatsApp anyway, talking about different things. But it is definitely very I guess I would say more interesting to have him here, and then I can have a face-to-face conversation, but also you guys get to listen in on that conversation as well, because he does have a very important perspective. And as you can see, there were certain things that, we don't necessarily agree on, right? Like when it comes to the rationale behind, who's going to be the next Ayatollah, but that's totally okay, right? And you guys got a very good example of how to have like a normal, civilized, geopolitical discussion where, we're kind of going back and forth and we're just sharing ideas and analogies, right? So I'm always interested to know the perspective from the Arab world. So I'm really happy that JASSEM is able to share that with us. But again, like, the only thing I would say is, many people are not familiar with the utter insanity of the Islamic regime. Like these people are literally insane, right? So this is why like a logical or rational analysis, in my personal perspective anyway, might not necessarily work, right? Because that analysis is based on assuming that the people are rational and the Islamic regime is not. But anyways, like I definitely, I'm always interested in his perspective, and I learn a lot from JASSEM. Amir says, really like JASSEM point of view. Yeah, absolutely. Need to cover his interview on I-24 and more. Look for him under the name JASSEM. Give him some love and respect. Yeah, guys, so I pulled up JASSEM's X account earlier. So there you go. He's on X, JASSEM. Great guy. Like, definitely you want to go and follow him because he does an amazing job. Oh yeah. So here he is without his traditional get up, right? But I knew, I had a feeling, I knew for a fact that he was going to come wearing his traditional dress, and I'm actually really grateful that he did, because there is a lot of education that needs to happen about what do these outfits mean, and the fact that culture is separate from religion. So I was really grateful when JASSEM, and he said it himself, he's not a Muslim, he distinguished between the cultural headdress that he wears versus the religion. And he said there are many Kuwaitis who wear that traditional headdress, but they're not Muslim, right? There are maybe Christians or Jews or Baha'is or atheists or whatever the case might be. So I'm very glad that he wore that. And yeah, there you go. Very, very cool. Okay, going back to the super chats. So then we have Army Mom. JASSEM, please come back so we can learn more. I agree. Guys, I promise you, I will make sure JASSEM comes back. If I have to do a little bit of arm twisting, I will. Don't worry. All good. But no, he was great. And I'm so glad that you guys appreciated and enjoyed his perspective. Ficklenot, JASSEM, so logically speaking, would the Ayatollah Khamenei be the 12th Imam savior of the world? So he's not here. I will send this question to him, Ficklenot. I'll send it to him on WhatsApp to get his answer on it. But I would say the answer is no, because the 12th Imam is the one that's stuck in the well, according to the Shias. That wouldn't necessarily be Khamenei. But I will ask him to follow up on that with sort of his logic and rationale behind that. And then finally, this was not a super chat, but Gandalf pointed out, because I mentioned, this is not Gandalf's real name or image, and Gandalf is saying, this is my real name and photo. I apologize, Gandalf. I'm so sorry for that. I should have known better. So you are the real original Gandalf the White, not Gandalf the Gray. So there you go. Okay, guys, I wanted to thank all of you for joining me today for day 185 of Iran Revolution Live. Now, before I conclude, I do want to say that there is a lot going on. There is a lot going on in occupied Iran. And whoa! So, okay, oh my gosh. We're gonna get to all of this later tonight with all the breaking news, because the news is still wow. It's still breaking, but here you go. So apparently targeted assassination in Ahvaz. Guys, Ahvaz. I was born in Ahvaz. I'm from Ahvaz. Yeah, let's go. Let's kill the Durkas in Ahvaz. Yes. Who was it? Wait, let me bring up the map of Ahvaz first so you guys can see where Ahvaz is. Oh man, I love this. Wait, why is it doing this? I just want, like, show me Ahvaz on the map. Okay, here we go. This is perfect. Wait. Open image. Here we go. Okay, so this is Iran. Remember, this is the kitty cat's head. These are the ears. This is the back. This is like the tummy area, and then these are the paws, okay? So this is where all the boom booms have been happening, except there was like one here last night that I covered. Ahvaz is here, okay? So Ahvaz is right there. It's in the province of Khuzestan. I was born in Ahvaz, guys. I'm a Bacha Ahvazi. So apparently, targeted assassination in Ahvaz. Ali Reza Khodadadi, Khabar Margesh, advisor of the provincial contract of the Vali Asr IRGC, has been targeted in Ahvaz, Khuzestan, Iran. Let's go. There's also been air defense activity in Bushehr, 2 huge blasts in Ahvaz, several more explosions in Bandar Abbas, more explosions. That was Chabahar. And then, oh, some like Palestinian jihadi terrorist was boomed. Good. خبر مرگش. Okay, Khamenei's body is now being transferred to the Razavi shrine in Mashhad for the burial ceremony. Blech. I wish they had left him in Iraq where he belongs. Right? Did you guys see? Even JASSEM said that, you know, Khamenei belongs in Iraq, right? Because everyone in the Middle East knows. They know the Islamic regime is not Iranian, right? They're foreign occupying invaders from like Najaf and Karbala. So even JASSEM knows that. Anyways, 3 IRGC elements. Anyway, so there you go. So that's been some of the breaking news for the boom booms, okay? So a potential new Kotlet, Ali Reza Khodadadi Khabar Margish. Anyway, so I'm going to gather all of this news. I'm also going to gather footage, intel, and videos from Khamenei's funeral, the latest boom booms, all of that for tonight's evening edition of the Goldie Show. So wherever you're tuning in from, make sure that you like, you subscribe, you turn on your notifications. Again, it's 4:30 p.m. Eastern, so I would say in about 3 hours. Maybe earlier. I might actually start earlier if I see that there's like a lot of breaking news or something, but I will see what's going on. There's also a FIFA game right now, so which is gonna lower the viewership or whatever. But I'll see you guys all this evening for the Goldie Show. So guys, thank you everyone for tuning in to Iran Revolution Live. And as always, I'm Israel Chai. God bless America. Javid Shah and Payande Iran. I'll see you guys later today. Peace out.
غرق انقلاب است.
کشور ما، تاریخ ما در سیدگر فرا گرفته، گویی اهورا مستا دوباره در نور خود مرا گرفته. اکنون سرودی سر میدهم باز فارغ رنج و تشویش، ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. هن ای پدر، هن ای پسر، برخیز و باماش و همگاه، تا درد آن تجربه تلخ ما را نکشیده در آب. بگذار هر دم بغرند گرگ‌ها دم لباس میش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ای کارگر، ای برزگر، راحت کنون ادامه دارد در این زمان که پرتو یزدان از هر سو بر تو میبارد. پس پیش به سوی آزادی از بحر خزر تا کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. خلقا به پا بهر دفاع از استقلال و آزادی، تا بشکنیم پشت ارتجاع تیریزی ایران آبادی. تا زنده سازیم سنت‌های می از من بالین و کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
با امید روزی که تمام این دلبشو و انقلاب تموم بشه و ما در روشنایی، نور و سعادت مردم کشورمون غرق بشیم.
خارجی، نه بیگانه، نه مستشارهای ویرانی، نه جیر خاران، نه کاسه لیسان، فقط هم رزمان ایرانی.
بابا شرافت میهنی بسازی بهر فرزندان خویش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
مردان بیایید داخل صف ما، اکنون که آغاز رویاست. دشمنان بدانید ما زنده هستیم، بعد از ما هم ایران پابرجاست. آن روح شیطان ما را فریب داد با صد شعار مردمیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
پرچم ما، پرچم ایران، غرق خون شهیدان. روی شانه هامان حمل می‌کنیمش در هر خیابان و میدان. تا ماسک دلقکان را برداریم از روی تسبیح و ریش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.